Exciting edition of TCH Live coming to you from Dallas. You got Greg P on the mic once again. Thanks for tuning in on your Saturday nights. We've got another final table for the $365 guarantee tournament that we run every Saturday. Unlimited re-entry, 20K guaranteed, though we surpass that just about every week. Something like 14,000 sitting up at top right now. So we'll get right into the action here in a minute. We're going to show you some stuff that we're doing for TCH for the month of August.
The bad beat jackpot is growing day after day. Do you feel like you're never going to win? What if I told you that everyone will be a winner? No matter what club you're playing in, if you're checked in and playing at a Texas Card House table, when the bad beat hits, you win $100 with our newest and easiest bad beat ever. Each and every day, the bad beat qualifying hand gets easier and easier to beat until it's won. But as the qualifier decreases, the pot increases right along with it. Additionally, with our new club share bonus, everybody wins. Just be playing at any TCH when the bad beat hits, and you'll win $100 just for being at a table. Yes, you Bob in Austin. You too, Sarah in Houston. Tim in RGV. And Dante, you and Big D in Dallas. You take home $100 too. It doesn't get any easier than that. Join the club that started it all, Texas Card House.
All right, guys, we are back. Hopefully you guys got to see some of the cool stuff we got going for the month of August. We got Brado and Andrew Nemi coming through Houston and Austin location, so be sure to get into there if you haven't already. Try and get some Bradley bucks. Gonna get right into the first two-card hand on this final table. We got some regular faces here, some return faces as well. Miss Nelda sitting in seat 4. I feel like she makes the final table just about every week, man. What a solid tournament player. People say this game is all luck. I say you're wrong. Got Eugene in the box. Been a dealer here on the live stream before.
Okay, we are good to go.
We are good to go. Let's dive right in.
Way ahead of you, sir. Go.
Is everyone still doing okay up here? Any beverages?
Master L. King 10. Not good enough, even though he is a short stack. Renee all in, ace deuce. Certainly good for a jam here. Sitting only on about 5 big blinds. Folds all the way around to Aditya K here in big blind. Sitting on a huge stack, 1.2 million. If anybody can comfortably call off, it'd be him, though. We did not see what he had. He might have had 7-5 offsuit for all we know, but does make the fold, and Renee going to live to fight another hand. Down to 10-8 under the gun. In a cash game, I would love to see this open, though tournament not going to hold up. Only sitting at about 20 bigs. Master suited king. If he was maybe on the button, this would be good enough for a jam. Johnny M, let's go with queen jack offsuits. Charlie S all the way around to the button. Whenever you are short stacked at a final table, it's best to have Broadway cards in your hand when you ship it in. High Broadway cards like aces, kings, queens. Jack 10 going to go for just a min click here in position. Pulls all the way around to Jerry, sitting on a healthy stack of his own. Looks like he's coming right along. Let's see what she brings us here on the flop. Give me something good, Eugene. Give me Jack 10 ace. That's not the one. 8-8 deuce. And an all-in donk bet here for Jerry. Says, let's play for it, sir. On this board text, I actually really love this jam here. It pretty much forces Charlie to wake up with a pair or fold. Does let it go. Johnny M 10-9 on a nice big healthy stack like his. I think he is in fact the chip leader. Certainly good enough for a bring in. Let's see if we can see a flop, but there are plenty of short stacks behind. It's not a hand that you can comfortably call off when you do get rejammed. So it does fold all the way over to Aditya K here on the button. Pocket fives, another gigantic stack of his own. And it looks like he is counting out raising chips. We about to see a 3-bet with pocket fives, man. Let's do it. Let's go. Hard to make a pair in this game. Aditya's already got one. But he is, in fact, slightly behind Johnny M with the 10-9. 160,000. Given that Johnny is so deep stacked, it's not unreasonable for him to call this. Hand that plays very well post, and he is certainly deep enough to justify it. Coming right along. Sitting on like a 40 big blind stack. And how about just an awesome flop for 10-9. Backdoor hearts, 3 to a straight, and middle pair. Aditya gonna barrel on this card. Bottom set, man. What more can you ask for with pocket fives when you 3-bet them? Down bets to 80K. Nice teensy size. Might keep Johnny M in for one more card.
No, it's 80,000.
Does come right along. I think this is fine. He got quite a price here to realize all of his equity that he still has in his hand, though it's unfortunate his opponent has bottom set. And oh my God, what a cooler card. 10 on the turn. Turning trips for Johnny M, though Aditya's got a boat, man. Not slowing down even for a second. Trying to get all the value in the world from Jack or 10X. Johnny M sitting in a rough spot here. Still pretty deep stacked. And we see a ship. He ships it in. Just jams like 10X over top. Aditya obviously going nowhere. Shows the 10. I got a boat, my man. 2 of the biggest stacks at the table. Third hand into this final table. Getting it all in on this turn card. Put a 9 out there, dealer, one time. Show me the sickness. Show me what everyone hates about tournaments. And put a 9 out there, or a 10, why not? He's actually got more outs than that. He's got any jack, any 10, any 9. 1 10, 3 9s, and 3 jacks available. More outs than he might have under normal conditions. And oh my God, it's a 9! Dude, what a cooler. Wow. That is bananas. Don't you guys just love tournaments? They're so much fun, aren't they? I certainly love tournaments. Man, nothing you could do there, buddy. You certainly got it in good on the turn. The 9 on the river. That is the way she goes sometimes. Getting felted there in 9th place. It's unfortunate when you sit down with like as big a stack as he had and then get it all in against the other big stack. But I think you definitely got to go for the gold there with 5s full of 10s. It's just unfortunate, man. He was well ahead on that turn card. Wow. Going to be taken out in 9th place for Mr. Aditya. Certainly not the results he was wanting, I'm sure.
So do you remember that hand that you thought I had, the ace 8? You showed me the ace.
Cashed out in 9th place for $1,426. So congratulations to you, sir. Sorry things couldn't work out a little better for you in that hand. So that is tournament poker as Mark T wakes up with the nuts. 80K, man. Let's ship it on in there. Let's go. He is certainly not going to get that much credit for this hand. He is a short stack, but he has the birds in the hijack. Let's see if anybody's got anything to give him some love. It does not appear so. Master, short stack of his own, though. It's hard to get it in with 4-3 suited in a tournament final table scenario. When you're getting it in, even short. Oh, wow, and he puts in the call, dude. Shows the 4-3, and that is not the 2 cards he's going to want to see. He wants to see something like ace-jack offsuit, I'm sure. But we are running this one out. Master going to need a little bit of help here. Ooh, diamond on the flop. On the turn. Oh, my God. Is it going to happen? Oh, it does not. No runner diamonds. Ace is going to hold up in this spot, though. Quite a sweat on that turn card. And Mark T going to make a nice clean double up with the birds. Cecilia says, Greg P., you are sick for wishing that evil on that man. I know. I'm the worst. I am the worst. I wish no evil on any particular person, though. I love to see the pain and the blood on the streets. Yes, just so y'all know, on our final table, you are not allowed to have your cell phone or any sort of headphones playing. No opportunities for two-way communication of any kind is allowed on this final table. Not that it's necessarily needed in all instances, though we do want to maintain the integrity of this game. As Master picks up King Jack, certainly jammable as with a short stack in the small blind. Ripping it on over Renee here. Short stack of his own. Does not want to get it in right now. And Master going to take down all those dead blinds in the middle. Certainly a nice chip up when you're sitting on 5 big blinds. 1 big blind is quite a come up. That's for sure. And it keeps you in the game for 1 more orbit at least. At the very least, 1 more hand.
Yeah, make sure they're not quite scanning correctly, they told me. So just make sure that your cards are in right there, yes. Keep the chips off of it.
Michael Fearon says, what was the buy-in for this 20K? $365 buy-in, unlimited re-entry. Starts at 11 a.m. Central here at Texas Card House in Dallas every Saturday. 20K guarantee, just a formality really, because we blow through that guarantee. We've never not hit the guarantee. It's pretty absurd. We had 188 entries, and the total prize pool sat at $56,400. Well above the guarantee of 20K. First place sitting at 14,202. Not a bad day of poker for whoever wants to win this one. A lot of people in the chat talking about that wild and crazy 1-3 game. We got the chat Propez in the chat right now. He was on the table last night, getting in there, mixing it up with the Next Gen boys. And that game was bananas. I wanted to get out of the booth and get in that game. I wanted to quit my job and hop in that game. It was so absurd. Mark T waking up with the hooks under the gun. Gonna ship it on in here with just under 7 bigs. Perfectly reasonable and standard. Miss Nelda waking up with the queen in her hand, though. Connected, not suited, not gonna do the job. Renee ace 8. And Mike gonna let go of a suited king. Mark chipping up once again, man. Staying alive. That is all you gotta do sometimes at a poker final table. Stay alive and let others bust out in front of you so you can hit those ever more important ladders up. The money gets bigger and bigger towards the top. Matt Farmer says, the action been good this week. It's good every week, sir. But yes, this week has been particularly ridiculous, I'd say. Now the queen deuce of spades, the +2, sitting on a middling stack. I'm going to go ahead and let that one go. Perfectly reasonable. Always worth taking a second to think about it, though maybe not too long, as Johnny M wakes up with King Jack of his own. Michael letting go of the King Dewey suiting as well. Mark T, though not unreasonable to get it in at King 3 when you're sitting this short, does decide to let it go, facing a button open from the big stack. Sitting at 2.6 million, Johnny M in the lead by a mile. He has the entire table covered. In fact, I think he has more chips in his stack than the rest of the table combined. I'd say that's a favorable result on a tournament final table. Umid Abbas says he's here for the points. Thanks for tuning in, Umid. For those of you who don't know, Umid's a regular on both the Tuesday and Wednesday night streams. Check those out if you haven't already. 5-10-25 on Tuesday and 5-5-10 on Wednesday. Both big games with big action. Johnny M just going to limp in ace-8 offsuits. Michael M doing the same, ace-3 on the button. Mark T raising it up. King 9 going to put in a squeeze here for half a stack. I think he could probably just ship it in, given the dead money out there. It does get the fold either way. The worst of it, taking it down pre-man, and Mark was sitting on a pretty life support kind of stack, slowly chipping up. And back in the game now, sitting square in the middle of the chip stacks. Plenty of opportunity to ladder up. Things can change in a flash on tournament final tables, as we have seen in the past. In fact, last week and 2 weeks ago, I think the short stack that sat down at the table won the whole thing. I know it happened with Sturdy 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. And last week, I remember the largest stack at the table went bust in like 4th place, man. Tournaments, the swings are huge, as everybody is allowed to realize all of their equity in every pot when you get it all in. Michael M pocket 3s, certainly good enough for a raise. It's a little too deep to jam, though Mark T has an interesting spot. Does let go with a queen 10. I think that's the right play more often than not. Jerry R, ace jack. I think facing this middling short stack, I'd probably just rip this one in. Though he does flat, and he's going to see a flop here. Flopping the nut flush draw, Michael with bottom pair, second bottom pair, something like that. And once Jerry sees the flop go check, check, he's going to bet out with the nut flush draw and take it right down there on the turn. Certainly a favorable result with nothing but ace high. Thanks for the new sub, Goofy2485. It certainly isn't goofy to subscribe to TCHLive. We give you 7 nights a week of free poker content of varying stakes. High stakes, middle stakes, and we've started implementing some 1-3 stakes for all of you regular daily grinders out there. Something a little more relatable to the folks. Not everybody can play 5, 10, 25, you know, so we also wanted to include next gen. Get them on the big table. Jerry R going to raise it up in the small blind. Queen 6, and Nelda wakes up with it. Ace King offsuits. Miss Nelda a regular on this final table. Not many people can say that. I definitely think she has been on more final tables than probably any other tournament participant. Renee, short stack, 10-9 suited under the gun. You're going to go ahead and get it in there. I think with the blinds behind him sitting with, what, 5 big blinds? It's not unreasonable to get in there. Not unreasonable at all, though you prefer to have an ace in your hands. Folds all the way to Nelda, small blind. Jack 4-0, not going to do it. And Master got it in 4-3. Let's see if he does it. 3 deuce does not oblige. And Renee going to chip up just a little bit. Squario says it was playing like a pub poker game last night. It sure was, man. Adam getting in there, mixing it up. We had Dylan. He was in for like 5 buy-ins, man. That's a rough day of poker. Nelda once again wakes up ace queen now. 1 pip lower, though certainly good enough. Jerry R putting on the pressure, 100,000 to go. I think Nelda's just got to ship it on in here on the button. All in. There it is, Master King 10. This sitting this short. You love seeing a Broadway card, though facing this action, it's not going to hold up often enough. Jerry R not loving it. Not loving the situation. Ace-4 offsuits. Trying to attack that dead money in the middle. Shows the ace and lets her go. Nelda was in the lead by a mile there, so good fold from Jerry. And Nelda going to chip up once again on this table. Emma of Dragons. We're going to see Michael M just limp in, ace-7 of diamonds. Mark T raising it up. Full 3X, pocket 5s. Given that he's got, let's see, he started with 11 bigs. It's so close. Now they're going to let go of ace-10 offsuits. Not unreasonable, though she had the best ace for now. Folds all the way around back to Michael, who, facing this raise, probably can't go anywhere just yet. Going to call the 90,000. Another 60K more. And how about a monster flop for both players? Open-ended for Mark T. Michael M. Top. Backdoor diamonds. All in and all in. Here we go, ladies and gents. What a board, man. Eugene dealing the action. 5s need a little bit of help here. Any 8s, any 3, any 5 for a set. Hopefully no diamond on the turn. 10. Nothing changes. And a brick of a 4 on the end, giving Michael the check mark. Mark T eliminated in 8th place. Quite a run, sir. Nothing you could do there. That hand sort of played itself, and he is going to be taking home $1,793 in 8th place. Good run to you, sir. Some comments about the memberships and stuff here at TCH. It is either a $10 daily fee if you're only going to be here for a couple of days visiting in, or if you're going to be a regular attendee at Texas Card House, it is a $30 monthly to come in, and then a $13 an hour fee for the seats to come play in our absolutely bananas cash games.
Doesn't help me. How expensive is it? I don't know the exact number on how expensive it is. I thought about getting one.
Well worth the money, I'd say, especially if you are a grinder trying to beat the rake. The 1-2 games are phenomenal here. They really play like 2-5 just about anywhere else. 2-5 plays like 5-10 or 10-20 at times. I was sitting at a 2-5 table today with 3,800 in front of me, and I was a short stack. So that was a lot of fun. Yeah, once again, the daily, if you do not do the monthly, it's a $10 daily fee to come play or a $30 monthly fee to come play. And Squario is correct. It certainly is one of the better card rooms you can play in. In fact, I would say it's the best one in the state of Texas by a mile. The action is insane. The prices are fair. The staff is well trained, and the locals are friendly. So come on in and get a piece of Texas Card House. August is the month to do it. For those of you who don't know, we got a special promotion going right now. The Beat the Heat Bad Beat Jackpots. We reset the Bad Beat Jackpot to $30,000. Every day it's going to go up by $1,000, and also simultaneously will decrease the requirements for the Bad Beats every single day for the month of August. By the end of the month, it's supposed to be like aces full of jacks getting beats, and that's all you need to qualify for the Bad Beat. So it'd be quite a statistical anomaly to not hit it by the end of the month. As we see Charlie S. get it all in, ace-9. As short as he is, this is about as standard as it gets. Michael M. calling king-8.
Anybody in the tournament thirsty? Here she is.
All very live. And on top of everything I listed about the combination of Texas Card House, we have a lovely line of waitresses happy to bring you whatever you'd like while you sit and play cards the whole evening. It is BYOB at all of the Texas Card House locations. What an action flop here. Both players miss pairwise. Ace high in the lead, though a king on the turn. Got outs to any ace, any queen, 8. And the king-8 suited is going to hold up, man. Ace-9, not gonna do it. As you see a bust out in 3rd place. Or excuse me, what am I saying? The 3rd bust out in 7th place for $2,216. Good run to you, bud. Certainly not a bad day at the office. $2,216 going your way. You got just a big blind in this hand. The small blind is dead. Held it under the gun. King 7, not good enough. Master Ace 10, I think this is about as easy of a jam as you could ever ask for. Does fold all the way around. Jerry's got queens, baby. Calls it, shows them. Let's rip it on out. Master gonna need a little bit of help here. 70-30, dog in this spot.
Sorry, 140,000.
Let's grip it and rip it, Mr. Gene. Queens v ace 10. Queen on the flop, ace 10 drawing. Nearly stone dead, and an ace. He's got outs to a king. Does not come. Has anyone got a diamond? No one's got a diamond. Set of queens on the flop, gonna hold up. Master eliminated in 6th place for $2,752. Certainly not a bad run to Mr. Master. Thanks for coming to play, sir. They're dropping like flies on this final table for the $365 buy-in 20K guaranteed tournaments. For those of you just tuning in, you got Greg P on the mic doing yet another one solo. Ben Kirby is lost at sea, they say. Not sure if we'll ever get him back. And we do see an all-in here from Mr. Renee. Suited queen under the gun. Does not want to see another round of blinds. When you get down to 5-handed, you got to rip it in with something, man. Jerry R has a very callable suited king, though he lets her go. Nelda, queen 4 offsuit. Probably not going to be good enough in this spot. Sees the queen, hoping that other card is good enough, and it is not. Though she does have a rather large stack and a nice opportunity to bust Mr. Renee here. He could be squeezing or shipping it in with some Jack X holdings. Potentially a worse queen, like a suited queen deuce. We've seen that plenty of times. Jared Hamilton, best announcer in the game. Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate that, Jared. I try to do a good job for you guys. Pez says Ben K left for the cruise. 6 months early. He certainly did, and what a layup for the promotion I want to talk about now. March of 2022. You got a poker cruise, Texas Card House Poker Cruise on Liberty of the Seas out of Galveston. 7-day cruise all around the Gulf. Be sure to get a piece of that. Your boys are going. Ben Kirby, Greg P. going to be on the boats. You guys can get on there, mix it up. Play some poker on a cruise. More information on that on the website, texascardhouse.com. We've got Renee R. now. Man, such a rough spot. Does put in the call instead of ripping it in. No pair. Well, but he ships it immediately. Oh, my God. He says, wake up with a pair, Johnny, or get out. But he does not. King, queen. I feel like this probably should have just happened pre-flop, but they are going to get in on the flop. Queen, jack, drawing to exactly a jack on this board texture. And a jack on the turn, dude. Unbelievable. Tap out another one in case he needed it, right? King, queen was still very much live. Drawing to a jack, but Renee going to stay alive for one more.
105. Four of those and one of those.
Getting a clean double up from the big stack.
Nice hit, I guess. Alright, so it's 20.
I'm sure he can't be too upset. He's had some run good and suck outs of his own with that boat over boat hand early on with the two biggest stacks duking it out, man. What more can you ask for? Jared Elder says, this is why I stick to cash games. No kidding, buddy. No, there's some pretty sick suck-outs in cash games, too. I got it all in Queens v. Jacks today and lost. Always a great feeling. What in the world are we seeing? I think that was a missed deal, as the blinds did not move, nor did the button. Chip and a chair indeed, Mr. Pauly D.
Yeah, you can't quite do that.
John S. Here to the podium. Will be.
Another 4-3 of diamonds on the button. Didn't see what action she took. Is going to raise it up here. I like it. You can open your buttons pretty liberally with a short stack behind and the big stack and the big blind. Attacking all that dead money that's out there and chipping up nicely with nothing but 4 high and a little bit of aggression. Squarius says, flop to boat jokes will generate no laughs by night 3. Probably no laughs by night 1 or hour 1, you know? Miss Nelda, Queen 10 in the cutoff, opening up once again, using her stack size to her advantage, though she is still only second or third in the lead at this table. Gets the fold once again. maybe taking advantage of all the folding she's seen thus far. Just chipping up one blind at a time. That's the way to do it. It's the way to survive in this game.
But you can get up whenever you want. What do we need to call?
Ace 7 for Renee, gonna be good enough for an all-in. Johnny M suited ace behind as well. Gonna go ahead and let that one go. Kicker not gonna be good enough, often enough, and does get the folds all the way around. Renee once again chipping on up with the ace 7. Certainly a favorable result as well. Speaking of favorable results, I'm sure there will be plenty of them next week, as Brad Owen and Andrew Nemi are going to be on the live stream down in Austin, playing on it Thursday nights, the 11th and the 12th down there. They're currently in Houston as we speak. Tonight and tomorrow, they came through Rio Grande Valley and Dallas a couple months ago. If you haven't checked out the stream that they were on, go back through the archives and give it a look-see. It certainly was a fun, action-packed night. They'll be in Houston to the end of tomorrow, and they'll be at the Austin Texas Card House location the 11th and 12th. You might also see another familiar face playing in the game with them. As I understand it, I have locked up a seat in that game, so you might get to see me donking around with him as well.
I think it buffers, this buffers some of the noise too.
That farmer says, why does Houston not stream? They simply don't have a stream set up. In terms of why that is, I could not tell you. Probably not really room for every location having a stream. That would be quite a complicated schedule for TCH Live. We fill it out pretty well between here and Austin. As we see Jerry R. flop open-ended, man. And Nelda ace high with a deuce. With the Dewey, no real redraw, no pair. She does not look like a believer from Jerry, but her hand is not going to hold up post, and in fact, an ace would be nothing but a cooler. Jerry going to get it done with a continuation bet on the flop, opening up Jack 10 offsuits, taking it down. Pickle Poker also makes a great observation. These tables are expensive. They are very nice. The RFID setups are very expensive and very nice, as well as the lighting and everything. It's just, I don't think it's really necessary. You know, between Austin and here in Dallas, we can cover all 7 nights a week, give you guys all the high stakes poker action and tournament poker action you could ever want.
Raise 150,000.
Johnny M opening up under the gun with the pocket sevens, the nuts. Going to take it on down pre-flop. Certainly not the worst results. You don't love getting to the flop and seeing an ace, a 10, and a 9 on that board, that's for sure. Paul D makes a great point about the cruise ship. Big enough boats and not very choppy waters. Probably not going to induce a lot of seasickness, I would hope. Though I've never been on a cruise ship, so who knows. Though regardless, I'm sure it'll be a boatload of fun. That pun kind of hurt me to say. Jerry R going to open up King 6 offsuits now. Lines are now 20, 40, 40. So for a 2.5x. Johnny M, King 5, no good against the other big stack, and he's going to take it on down pre. Michael Fuhrer, thanks for the love, sir. Appreciate the compliments, as we do have a player away from the table. For anybody that doesn't know, if you are not in your seat at the time your hand is dealt, it automatically goes into the muck. Johnny M just going to limp on in here. Suited 9, Michael M checking his option with the King 3-0. Going heads up to the flop. Equity's running pretty close here. How about an ace on that board? No pair in sight for either player, though not the worst flop. Michael M with the gutter to the wheel. Johnny M going to donk on out here, 9 high. Getting the best hand to fold, attacking a dangerous looking board for a blind battle. You love to see it. And a question of how many players were paid in this tournament. We usually do like 10 or 11% of the field. We had 188 entrants and we paid out 21. The bubble payout was $800 in 21st, and it steadily increases from there until about 6th place, where it starts ramping up real hard into some good money. We do see an all-in from Mr. Renee. Queen Jack offsuit, good enough for it this time. Folds all the way around to Miss Nelda. Ace-5 offsuits, very close spots. Does elect to let it go. Renee chipping up once again. Renee Hewlin says, there is no paid subscription service. All you got to do is hit the like button and hit the subscribe. It does not cost you a dime. Let's go of the ace-4 offsuit. Jerry R, though, on the button. King 7-0. Good enough for a bring-in. Roughly 2.25x. In fact, exactly 2.25x. And gonna get the folds once again, pre-flop. Let's get some money in there. Let's get some stacks flying. It's unfortunate when nobody wakes up with much to do battle with, especially when everyone's stacks are sitting in such a vulnerable position. Gotta wait for the cards to get dealt to you. Nelda 8-4 suited on the button, says let's do it. Wake up with it in the blinds or get out of my pots. We do see a call from Renee. Jack 10 off suits. Johnny M in the big blind. Big stack computer hand. Not going to be good enough facing this action. Does let her go. Thank you for the new sub, Mr. Daniel Judge. Thank you for the subscription, sir. How about a 10 on the flop? Just about stone nothing for Miss Nelda. Drawing to runner 2 pair.
Any beverages up here?
Not going to get it done when Renee donks out on this board with middle pair backdoor clubs. Does get the fold and a nice 170,000 chip up for Mr. Renee. Spiking a 10 on the flop, man. Jerry R, King 7, under the gun not good enough for it, though it was perfectly playable on the button. Delta Queen 5, no good. Renee, Ace 5, certainly good enough for a raise on a final table scenario. Puts one in. The full 3X here. No love in the blinds, and Renee gonna take down yet another pot, man. The man staying alive. Chipping up and coming back. Sitting at a 25% VPIP. Jerry, the only one out-pipping him thus far. A lot of people talking about the lead by Mr. Renee. I don't think it's the worst lead, though I would probably check call more often than lead. You certainly don't want like any more scary cards to peel off. Renee, Ace Jack offsuit, still running good, man. Puts in the raise. Johnny M, 10-7 suited, no good. Lets her go. Michael M, King Queen. Let's get it all in. Oh, wow. We saw Michael fold King Queen. He probably just knew Jerry had Ace Queen, man. That's why. He knew. Psychic. Let's go of the King Queen of clubs. Jerry are waking up, out-pipping Mr. Renee, facing a jam here. As short as you are, it's rough, but I think you got to call it. But he lays it down. What a good fold. Completely destroyed, dominated there by AQO. Making a great laydown with Ace Jack. We got Ryan Crow in the chat. How you doing, sir? Michael Fear, all the 1-3 certainly play like a 2-5. In fact, the 1-3 at TCH has an $800 cap, though Next Gen wanted to keep it at $500, which is reasonable. They're not accustomed to higher stakes, and we were accommodating them for that live stream, so we kept it at a $500 cap, no match the stack. 1-3 is an $800 cap on the regular floor. Gonna show the Ace King. Not getting any love for it. Pre-flop, certainly not the result we wanted, I'm sure, though better than it getting cracked with something like 7-8 suited. Travis is doing well. Got a packed house in Houston with Owen and Nemi there. Yeah, that is certainly the Owen and Nemi effect, though we certainly don't need them to pack the house, as Texas Card House is the place to be for all your poker action. So, of course, it is more than welcome to have the two vlogger extraordinaires on site with us. We do see a jam here from Nelda. Ace-8 offsuit. Renee, King-8 not going to be good enough. And Nelda taking down the big blinds there. Love the jam there with Ace-8. Master Ted, chip up or chip out. Damn straight, sir. That is tournament play incarnate. Michael Fury says from Atlanta, but will definitely be making the weekend drive. Come on out, sir. As Renee's getting in there with King 10 offsuit in the small blind. 7 Dewey. Not going to do it for Mr. Johnny. Be sure to come on out to TCH. Atlanta is certainly good enough for the short drive that it is. Get on down here, sir. Come on into Dallas. Come get a piece. 2-5 here plays bananas huge. As I said earlier, I was sitting with 3,800 at the game, and it was a short stack. We had one guy with damn near 20K on a 2-5 game. Gotta love having 4,000 big blinds at any game. JB, actually, aggression is very much advocated for on tournament final tables, as people typically overfold. As Nelda wakes up with the Snowman, certainly good enough for a jam, I'd say. Renee, let's go King 9 offsuit. Johnny M, Queen 8 no good, and Michael M. Pretty beautiful hand, though not good enough to call a jam there. Definitely want a lot more Broadway cards showing up. Bez talking about the straddling that was going on last night. Yeah, they were playing 1, 3, 6, 12, 24, 48 last night. There wasn't, if you thought there wasn't action here, you were wrong. Dead wrong. Games play big. The chips are aplenty. The action is abundant. Nelda E waking up with it one more time. King Queen offsuits. Taking a look at what the other opponent's chip stacks look like. Does come in for a raise this time. I kind of like this. He's starting to get a little bit too deep after chipping up multiple times to just open chip it. Johnny M, very defensible, ace-9 on the button. Coming right along. It looks like we're going heads up to the flop. See what she brings us. Whiff of a board for both players. No heart in sight for either, though Nelda going to take a stab on this board with the betting lead. Not sure that she actually has a range advantage in this spot, but doesn't matter because Johnny M's got ace high, no heart. Nelda, no heart in hand, though all the heart in the world are going to take it on down on a monotone board texture. Mike asking about Next Gen in the chat. Next Gen is a trio of young budding poker players, the next generation of poker players per se. They have a YouTube channel called Next Gen Poker. They are a poker vlog, 3-man poker vlog. They've been traveling around, playing some poker, making some money, having a good old time. 3 SMU kids. getting in there on the streets. Jerry R in the small blind, laying it on thick, 4-3. Nelda, nothing to defend with, man. You only got to go through one player. Odds are that a bet is going to get through pretty often, as they kind of have to wake up with something or just fold, man. Has anyone ever laid on thin? I can't say that they do. It's often coming on thick, sir. And we are going to see a jam here from Michael M. Not laying it on thin. Nelda pocket nines. Here we go. Let's get it in, ladies and gents. Classic flip. Pocket nines v ace 10. Certainly don't think Nelda could go anywhere with the Gretzkys, as some people call them. That's, you know, yay sports ball, even though I don't think there's a ball involved in that game. 99 in the small blind. Calling for most of her tournament life. If she does hold up here, she chips up very nicely, sitting with a very playable stack. And we do see her grabbing chips here. Looks like she's going to count it out, see where she's at. I'm actually surprised to see Nelda tanking this long. Any pair above 7s or 8s is pretty much a mandatory jam, though she does eventually stick it on in there. Ahead per the moment, shows the ace 10, 9s. Let's see if they can hold up to the 5-card runout. Huge pots. 1.1 million in the middle. Let's go to the flop. First 3 cards. No ace, no 10 in sights. Great flop for pocket nines. King on the turn, no help. And an 8. 9's gonna hold up, man. Be the ace 10 and Nelda E chipping up nicely as we see an elimination in 5th place, taking down 3,485. Certainly don't blame the man getting it in. Ace 10, Mr. Michael. Nothing to do there. That is the way of tournaments, folks. $3,485 bank for the man. A pretty good day. Pretty good Saturday of playing poker, if I do say so myself. Unfortunate you make it this far and can't bank the thing, but 5th place certainly isn't bad. Nice run, Mike. We are down to the final 4 on this $365 buy-in. Unlimited re-entry, 20K guarantee tournament. As we do unfortunately see a king get flipped on up, though might have been a blessing in disguise as Jerry wakes up ace-king offsuits under the gun. Under the gun really is the cutoff in this kind of scenario.
Bounce up, just bounce up. Yeah, raise 150,000.
Now the king for Renee.
Doesn't matter.
Oh no. He might have had pocket kings there. It's unfortunate when cards get flipped in tournaments and for stakes as high as these. Every hand matters on the final table. It is rough. No, I'm sure Jerry would have just banked an ace, you know. It's all right. Renee Four Deuce says, let's go, man. Johnny M on the button, King 10. Puts in a huge raise, 300,000. Jerry R snap folds King Queen. I'm actually really surprised to see that one go in the muck, especially facing a blind battle. Though it sucks when you flat in between and see a back raise jam from Mr. Renee. Renee, King Queen offsuit. Definitely good enough for a jam in this spot. Got to get it in eventually, man. Sitting 10 big blinds. This is about as easy as a shove as I've seen. Nelda, though. Rough spot. Suited King says the first one was good. Second one is not. Does make the correct fold. Renee chipping up once again with no resistance. They're down to the final four, and fortunes can be made on this Saturday $65 tournament. 14K sitting up top. Johnny M, the biggest stack at the table. King 9 of diamonds under the gun. Going to go ahead and limp on in here. Jerry R, very playable Jack 10 of hearts coming along. We get to see a flop. It's rare in final table situations that you get to see a flop. We are seeing Nelda take her time with the 7-4 offsuits. Taking a look at all that good money out there. Wants a piece of it. And Renee getting just about the best layup jam spot I've ever seen in my life with ace 10. Gonna probably get folds all the way around and see himself a very nice chip up. Jerry R laughing just a little to himself for the pickle that he has found himself in. Dominated 10, though he is connected. That farmer says, who would you think is the favorite, Greg? Anything can change in the tournament streets, sir. So anyone that I guess would be pure and utter speculation. Though, but Renee has certainly been having a good run of it thus far. Jerry R waking up, same exact hand under the gun, going to go for the raise this time, not facing any action in front of him. Of course, there is no action to be had in front of him. Opening it. Thanks for the new sub, Paul Hendakis. Renee R shipping it in once again, dude. Just waking up with the nuts. So many nice hands. And Jerry R going to fold face up, showing the king queen. Not going to be good enough. Matt Farmer says Renee getting cards at the right time. If there is ever a time to run good in a tournament, it is the final table. Renee sitting on a very nice chip stack now. Just under $1 million. Gonna keep riding the wave, opening up the button here. Laying it on nice and thin. Jerry R gonna defend, Jack 9. Both relatively deep stacks, certainly not the worst hand to see a flop with, facing a button open. And how about this flop? Bottom 2, Jerry R. Renee, nothing but 6 high in a dream, though he does have the betting lead, overall range advantage. Does take a stab at it, and Jerry R. going for the max immediately, not gonna get it. Might be some argument for calling there and seeing a turn card, though the board is rather connected. Certainly don't want to see a 10 in that spot. Jerry R, Queen 7. Gonna open it up in the small blind. Nelda, Jack 3. She might have a little bit of PTSD from this hand. In a blind battle, not the most unreasonable hand to call with, though she does let her go. Was a bit of a dog in that fight. Johnny M, Queen 9, under the gun. Not going to be good enough this time. Ace Deuce, though, on the button, sitting on a huge $2 million chip stack. Opens it up and gets the folds, man. This is when aggression is rewarded the most in poker, when the stakes are high, the ladders are real, and the ICM pressure is heavy. That is when people are going to be most apt to fold their hands.
Yeah. What time did I get up here?
Jerry R, 9-8 of hearts. Very deep stack, certainly good enough for a bring in, sitting on this many chips. Big raise here, full 3x. Trying to price out his opponents and take down those dead blinds. Now the King 8's not going to be good enough with 2 players behind. Get a call from Renee. Queen 10 of diamonds. Johnny M 10-3-0. Certainly not getting in there. Here we are, heads up to the flop. 9-8 needs a little bit of help, though many things change after those first 3 cards, as we know. Oh, what an action flop here. Top pair for Renee, Jerry R. Oh, there we go. We're getting it in, man. Flush draw v top pair. A pure flip on this flop. Straight draw as well for Jerry, never folding his hand. And a King of Hearts right then and there on the turn, taking Renee out of the race, man. Renee R going to be eliminated in 4th place for a prize of $4,613. That hand definitely played itself for sure. Nothing to do there. Got it in good, though you weren't too far ahead for sure. Action flops indeed. Once we actually get to the flop, it's kind of rare in a final table scenario. As Nelda waking up Queen 9 of Hearts.
What's the quickest final table live stream time?
3 ways, certainly good enough for a bring in. Stacks now sitting, I was going to say even, but they're not really. Nelda is a bit of a dog on this final table. Johnny M had the lead for a while, though Jerry R took it right out from under him. Putting in the call, suited king dominating Nelda on the hard draw. Though let's see what the flop is going to bring us. How about a gutter? Oh, what am I seeing? Not a gutter. Nelda going to bet on outs one time on this dry board texture. Jerry R, nothing but king high and hopes and prayers. Going to let that one go. Nelda going to chip up nicely as the third place stack per the moment. Jerry R up a cool 1.5 million in chips. First place at the top of this, 14,202. Second, 9,125. And third place sitting at 5,769. Everybody's in a bit of the money.
Driver's license, yes, sir. Thank you. I'll just come around and get it.
Quite a good payout for a $365 buy-in tournament. Some questions about the cards in the chat. Yeah, RFID cards are a lot thicker. They're heavier. So they do take a little bit more muscling to get them to shuffle and to pitch them well. Johnny M on the button says, let's go. 200,000. Johnny Arger, let's go. Ace 2. And Nelda Jack 7, no good. Johnny M taking it on down pre-man. Love to see it. Jerry R, Jack 10 off on the button. Certainly good enough for a raise. 3-handed. Nobody's sitting with a rejam stack, so gotta start applying pressure where you can. Johnny M in a heads-up scenario, final table, King 7, not the craziest defend. Suited, certainly good enough for a big blind defense, though offsuit's a little more justification for just letting her go. Can't really flop anything too big with an offsuit 8 gapper. Nelda now. Big, slick, offsuit, red variety on the button. Certainly good enough for a raise. Taking her time to think it over. Looks like 150. Full 3X. Jerry R says, let's go. 9-7 of diamonds. Certainly playable in a heads-up scenario in the final table. And how about this flop? Middle pair for Jer Bear. Nelda, 2 overs, gutter ball to Broadway, does check it back. This board is certainly much better for opponent's range, though the ace on the turn, no sweat, spikes it immediately. Jerry R now leading, thinking his 9 is still good once Nelda checks the flop. Does get a flat call. Spades do come in. And a brick on the river. 5 of diamonds. Jerry R now, I believe, turning his hand into a bluff here. Half pot bet. But Nelda not deterred, says you got the spades, you got him. Shows the ace king, spiking the best of it on the turn. The suck and the re-suck, man. Love to see it. Nelda chipping on up nicely. All the stacks now sitting relatively equal. hand number 53 on this final table. Johnny M, suited Jack, lets her go on the button. You want to start laying it on your opponents in the blinds, might be good enough for raise. So I'm sure he knew Nelda was going to wake up with the pre-flop nuts, certainly going nowhere. 10 deuce, the Doyle for Jerry R. Raising it up in the small blind, sitting on a 2 million chip stack. And we do see a 3-bet here. I love the 3-bets, holding a pair. And Jerry R says, whoopsie, what did I walk into? Miss Nelda taking it down. I love the 3-bet with pocket sevens. Three-handed, certainly a premium holding, having just about any pair, sixes plus. It sounds like we are doing a three-way chop scenario. 9,000 for each player, and we're going to play for the remaining 2,000, taking off a little bit of the edge, a little bit of the pressure. We do give you guys the option to chop. It is entirely up to the players. Though I'm sure Jerry R wishes he hadn't. Waking up ace, jack of diamonds. Looks like we're going to get this settled real quick before getting back into the two-card game.
I'll figure it out. Oh, you're right.
Everybody's guaranteed 9,000.
We're guaranteeing everybody 9,000 and playing for the remainder of the prize pool. Jerry R now realizing he's got a primo on the button, raising it up. Nelda king 8 off suits, once again not good enough. Johnny M now the short stack on this final table. Let's go of the king high, queen high, excuse me. $9,000 guaranteed to all three of these players playing for the remaining 2K-ish. Roughly 29,000 sitting in the remaining prize pool. $9 going to each player with the last two up for grabs as Jerry R grabbing some 8s here. Putting in the raise over Johnny M's limp with the queen 5, certainly reasonable. Shows it. 2 red snowmen getting the job done. $11,096 sitting up for first place. Everyone guaranteed to make $9,000. Not an unreasonable chop with everybody sitting at damn near even. Can go any of 9 ways, 9 results, first, second, and third. Johnny M now waking up to face cards, King Jack, and Nelda once again King 8 off suits. Now that there is less sweat for the big money, we might see some more defends and wider plays, though she is going to let it go correctly in this spot. King 8, utterly dominated, drawing exactly to 1 8-ball.
Wrong one.
Jerry R picking up King 8 offsuit. We've seen that hand quite a lot tonight. He's saying it's good enough for a raise. Now the 2 suited cards. Stack sitting dead even. Not unreasonable to come right along. Certainly does. Heads up, we're going to the flop. And what a flop for Miss Nelda. Action flop we're seeing. 10 high flush draw versus top pair. Great kicker. 175K. Miss Nelda certainly getting the price she needs to come right along. Oh boy, but are we going to see the raise here? Does put in the raise. I love playing this more aggressively. Jerry R, no sweat whatsoever. Ships it in, bro. Top pair, good kickers. Certainly good enough to play for stacks. There are plenty of draws available. Nelda certainly in a bit of a spot here. Facing the jam for her entire tournament life. Are we getting it in? Come on, baby, we're going for it. Rip it. 10 high flush draw. She's got plenty of outs. Any 10, any club.
All right, here we go.
Almost a pure flip here. 3 on the turn. And an ace. No help. Wait. Oh, I couldn't even see it. Miss Nelda spiked the ace for the wheel. Wow, what a chip up. What a double up. What a sicko action run out. Runner, wheel. Not the way she expected to win that hand, I'm certain. Everybody talking about, yeah, no, there's no ICM pressure in these spots, so when you got overs and backdoor wheel draw and draw into the clubs, I think that hand is certainly good enough to get it in. Nelda scooping a big one, chipping up huge in this pot. Now sitting definitively as the big stack. Is Jerry R not loving that result, but what more can you do? I love the aggression. Top pair, good kicker. Certainly good enough to stack off with. sitting with like 21 big blinds. What more can you ask for?
Well, she asked for it first. I mean, in all fairness.
I didn't ask for it.
Yeah.
Nelda had like damn near every out in the deck on that turn card. Just about as many as you could possibly have. Any ace, any 10, any club. The only way she would have gotten 3 more is if she had 2 overs. But then she wouldn't have had the wheel possibilities. What a monster hand as she stacks them on up here. Jerry R sitting 105K deep. Nothing to think about here.
30,000. I'm sorry. Not even 105.
Nelda Queen Dewey Sooty in the small blind. There is a stack behind, though she's sitting with 3.6 million deep. Only like 65 big blinds, something like that. Sitting at 25.50, and Jack 4 off says, "Let's go, grip it and rip it, everybody."
Player all in. There's still action on the side.
Still action on the side. Queen Dewey v Jack 4-0. And a jack in the door, giving Johnny M the best hand by a mile, but Queen 10's got a flush draw. Spikes it. Jerry R not going anywhere yet. Got basically the nuts. As we see Johnny M bet out into the dry side pot, take this heads up with Jerry, who's got the flush. No sweat here. And an ace on the end changes nothing. Jerry R going to get a clean triple up in this spot.
We really on break? We on break? Chad, we're going to keep going, right? No breaks, right?
There's no breaks. I thought I hit over.
So, 16. I'm find out here in a second. Yeah, 30,064.
Yeah, so it's nine grand, and then 11,096 for first place. Go team.
Nelda King Jack offsuit, big raise, putting it all in. Mr. Jerry, same exact hand. How in the world is this the result?
Go spades.
Jack against King Jack.
We need spades on this board to see Jerry chip up. Diamonds for Miss Nelda. Nope. Let's chippy chop it up, dealer. Johnny M. King 10 offsuits.
60,000.
Nelda with the Doyle in the big blind. Checks her option. Ace high board. This is certainly going to be a instance of you bet you win. Johnny M. King high. Nelda does not have to have an ace. And Nelda says, let's go. 10 high. I want to see a turn card with my deuce. And that's, without pairing up, that's about as good as it gets. And she's going to lead this card. Oh, I love this lead. It says, wake up with it, Johnny, or fold your frickin' hand, sir. Does get it through with the Doyle. Another nice chip up for Miss Nelda. Jerry on the button, super short stacked, man. Might just have to go with it, and he does indeed. Shipping it in. Nelda 4-2 off. Probably not going to do it. Neither will 6-4 offsuit. Jerry R was actually in the lead by a mile with 10 high. Nelda getting it done, more aggression, just constantly chipping them up. Extending her ever-growing lead over a short stack. Johnny M. Jack 9 on the button. Raising it up here, and we are going to see Jerry ship it in. Queen 9 dominating the Jack. Nelda a 7. Could potentially ship it, reship it to isolate. Actually, I think she can only call. This jam may have closed the action. In fact, I do believe that is the case. Does put in the call with an ace. Johnny M says, let's go, rip it in. We do have heads-up action on the side 3 ways for the main pot. Queen on the flop, Jerry R once again sucking out Nelda. Best of it for the side pot. And how about a 9 for the side? But Jerry R, as it checks all the way down, gonna show 2 pair. Staying alive, man. Sitting on a 1.1 million chip stack now. Chip in a chair, ladies and gentlemen, is gonna get it done. What more could you ask for? Jerry R waking up with it now once again. Ace King offsuit, chips it. Nelda, same hit one more time. Certainly good enough for a rejam.
All in.
Dupes all the way around. Can't get a clean all in from anybody. Good Lord. And yet another rainbow flop. We're going to be chopping this one up. Both players 2-pair with an ace. Chopping up 60K plus chips apiece.
I'm dealing like it's almost like all right, I'm gonna give you the exact same good hand so that everybody feels good for a moment. Yeah, just a moment. He's gonna crush it. There's a lot of good hands for being three-handed, you know? Raise 200,000.
Nelda playing her button. Johnny in with the Dewey. The Doyle. Jerry R going nowhere. We are seeing a flop. Put a jack out there one time, dealer. No jack to be found. Jack 9 was ahead. The flop maintains the lead. On the flop, checks it over to Nelda's. And we see a check jam, insta jam from top pair, decent kicker.
Should be 60 and 60.
And Nelda checking her suits one more time. She does have back doors available, though not doing great as her pair outs are not live. Trying to exactly run a runner. Let's it go.
Alright, let me get this one, yeah. Thank you, Jeff.
Maybe y'all can invest in an extra pool with it.
Did somebody leave it? Yes. Sucks to be them.
We're seeing a flop one more time. Jerry R opens up small blind, getting a call from 8-7. And what about this flop, dude? Good Lord. Nelda running good. Bottom 2-pair. Gonna put out a bet. No good for Jerry. Nothing but a gutty to the bottom end.
How we doing, Hope? Leave it in there? How's she doing? She hanging in there? Okay. Think she can hear us? Talking behind her back. Oh, hey Nelda. Good to see you. Yeah.
Seeing it all in from Johnny M, though getting no love. Now the short stack. The man was sitting on a huge chip stack early on in this final table. Nelda raising on the button, 10-9 offsuits. Jerry R. Surprised we didn't see him just ship it on in here. Does make the call, see a flop. Sitting on just over 6 bigs. Ace on the board. Got a pair for Mr. Jerry and a ship on in. Nelda no pair. And we'll redraw. Lets her go.
That's my best friend's son. Yeah. They just moved to Arizona. They're originally from Arlington. And I told him I'd move down here, but they hadn't come back to visit yet, so he was just calling for my birthday to see what was up. Tell him I'm still working. I do. So I have 3 sons and a daughter. Yeah, I've got a 19-year-old, and then my sons are 11 and 10 currently.
Jerry R. certainly good enough to get it in with the 7s. Surprised we're not just seeing jammer fold strategies in this scenario. Though they are still relatively deep. Puts in an all in. And Jerry R. getting snapped off. Nelda needing some help here, drawing to an ace. And oh my God, how about top sets? Oh, and now just a boat. Nelda drawing stone dead on that turn card, man. Wow. Jerry, dude. This man cannot be beaten. Getting the run of a lifetime on this final table. The man bleeds, but he does not die. Staying alive. He was down to 2 bigs. 2 big blinds all the way, chipping up. Now sitting a pretty solid favorite. I think he is in the lead after this hand, though it could be close. We are seeing it all in here. Johnny M, now the short stack at this table. Ace-Deuce off, but getting no love from the small blind.
Raise 400,000.
Jerry R, Ace-4 offsuits. Huge stack now. This man has been on a roller coaster of a final table ride. What's in the raise on the button? Johnny M, Ace-8 offsuit says, grip it and rip it, let's go. Snap call from Jerry. Jerry needs a little bit of help here. Drawing to a 4, though it is still a race. 65-35 on this run. The way he's been running, I'm sure there'll be a 4 in the door, man. Not to be had, Ace-8, still the best of it, deuce. And a 3 on the end. You're seeing Johnny M, 1.2 million chip up here. Best hand pre-flop held up. Very rare in a tournament scenario, it seems.
Raise.
Johnny M, Ace Jack in the small blind, gonna raise it up here. Jerry R, let's go with the King 3. It's unfortunate Johnny's real first premium he's had in a while does not get any love. So it's hard for people to wake up with it three-handed. For a second, I saw a super chat on stream, it looked like, but I did not see it in the chats. Apologies if I missed it. Let's see one in here. We are seeing a blind battle here. Jerry R limping in, 6-3 off. Now they're going to check her option with King 10. Open-ended on the flop for Miss Nelda. Jerry R, 6 high in a dream. Gonna bet it out. Trying to attack a scary board texture with some premiums on the flop. 7 on the turn. Jerry's pair out still live, though. He's going to check it over to Nelda here. He's going to barrel. Best hand at the moment. There we are, coming along. And an 8. On the river, backdoor clubs coming through. Jerry seemed like he was just trying to spike a pair there, and Nelda going to continue the aggression. There we are, nothing to call down with, nothing but 6 high. Hopes and prayers. And let her go, and Nelda chipping up once again. Whoa, kept it under pairs. Finally got in from LA at a decent time. 30 minutes from TCH Dallas. Buddy, we've had you in the chats just about every stream, I think. I may not be here if you decide to come in and get some late night gamble, but I'd be happy to meet you in person, sir. Be here on Monday. Hopefully you're staying for the weekend. Run good for me. Nelda once again waking up with the nuts. Pocket 7s in the small blind. Facing a raise to Jerry R. Ships it right over top. 5-4 diamonds, not looking so pretty now. Makes the fold, and Nelda once again chipping back up. Just a roller coaster on this final table, man. Nelda, the lady waking up with 2 of them. On the button, gonna put in a raise. It's not even unreasonable to put in some limps here when you're so nutted pre-flop, though. We are seeing a call 8-7 offsuit, and Jerry, King 8, good enough. And we are seeing a flop 3 ways here. Show me a board we can get some money in on. Jerry looking to get it in with any. How about top 2 for Jerry? The man cannot die. Middle pair for Johnny M, and Nelda with 2 queens. Second pair certainly good enough. Johnny M calling, and of course Jerry just gonna ship it in. Nelda's in a spot facing a call and then a rejam, check jam. I think this is a fold. It's very rare that whenever you have a hand this strong, even on a board with an overcard, that you can fold in this spot, but this might be one of them. With 2 players involved in the hand, one of them might be on a flush draw, but the other one just might have a king. Let's go to the queens. Good fold, Miss Nelda. Johnny M wanting accounts. See if he can bust Jer Bear here. Though he would be drawing to exactly a 7. Let's it go, and Jerry gonna chip up one more time. Taking it down, man. What a gross board. What a terrible run out for the ladies. Queen 8s. I think in a 3-handed scenario, just about any Broadway card is good enough to come in for a raise. Cena limp from Jerry R. Nelda has a very playable hand post flop. 8-7 of diamonds, putting in the raise over top. And Jerry coming right along, undeterred. 2 mystery cards per the moment. And what a flop for Miss Nelda. Bottom pair backdoor diamonds. Some straight potential as well. Does go check on this board. 6 on the turn, picks up that little bit of straight equity I was talking about.
Have you eaten yet? You eaten yet?
Have I eaten yet?
Yeah. A little more.
Yeah, we're up at 20%. Kinda. So I have like about an hour after every tournament, so I have to make sure that everything gets cleaned up. I ain't going to inventory everything.
Jerry R, 2 suited cards. 3-way, certainly good enough for a raise. Nelda, speed limit here, pocket 5s. Puts in the call, and Johnny M. Kington offsuits. We're starting to get to the point where rejamming for the dead money might just be more viable than seeing a flop. But we are going 3 ways here. King Dewey Dewey.
Yes, I played with you, son.
Duck Duck Goose, as some might say. Johnny M flopping the best of it by a mile, though not the worst board for pocket 5s. And Jerry R's got a 9-high flush draw. Didn't even see that. So Nelda lead out on this board texture, getting 2 calls. Can't love seeing that. It's amazing. We're getting in here 3 ways, and everybody's actually hitting the board. How about a boat? How about a boat for Johnny M? Just turns it. Once the board is double paired, Nelda got essentially counterfeits in a way. Jerry R, though, undeterred, man. The board is double paired, and he's jamming it in. Not a full jam, but betting out with 9-9 flush draw. This is actually a huge pot brewing. Nelda going nowhere. Top 2, kings and 5s. And Johnny M says, let's raise her on up, boys and girls. Raised to 9K, folds all the way around. We found the king in the bunch, and Jerry R taking a huge pot now, man. Chipping all the way back up. Stacks are even.
Alright, lines are up. Now 40K, 80K, 80K. 40, 80, 80.
That's pretty good, man. You get 1 card and you win. Shit, hard.
Try that again.
said that's what she said in your microphone.
That's right.
That's exactly what they said.
That's what, yeah, that's how it is. 160 rays.
Because I was thinking that, so I know he said it.
He didn't say it. Calls 160.
Man.
Nelda facing a raise from Johnny M on the button with 10-7 of diamonds. He's going to call in the big blind, Jack 8 off. Yeah, Johnny M now the chip leader here after that massive pot. And we see a 10 high flush draw for JM here. Gonna jam it once check 2, and Nelda gonna have to fold 2 overs in this spot.
Travis, move my ass down.
He gone. Gotta go.
We are seesawing with.
Jerry R waking up, man. Premium.
Get me out of
2
here.
kings on the button. I'd say that's good enough for a raise. Nelda 8-6. Surprised we didn't. Oh, she is a short stack now. Take it back. Johnny M, massive stack. I'd say any 2 suited cards are good enough for defend, but he's going to let it go. And Jerry R not getting any love with the kings, man. I'm sure he's going to show these. Says, come on, y'all. Wake up with queens. Why not?
Can't smoke pot anymore like you did 20 years ago. I was playing golf with my CEO in a little charity tournament. And he had this little radio on his
Nelda 9-7 off, no good. Johnny M now getting in there with the Broadways.
started playing Def Leppard.
Jerry R 8-3 offsuits. I think even in a final table 3-way scenario, that hand's not going to hold up often enough. We're seeing another blind battle here as Jerry Auger to limp in 4-3 offsuit. Nelda checking 8 deuce in the lead somehow with one of the worst hands in the game.
Yeah, you guys can go to the bathroom anytime you want, but I can't stop the stream. So the stream doesn't stop. That's why we don't take breaks.
What a whiff of a board for both players. Nelda with a gutter.
I can't stop it.
Jerry R just gonna
Sorry, bro.
take a stab at it. Take this one on down with nothing but 4 high.
You can do whatever you want, but as soon as the stream catches up, then we're in trouble, right? So, because it's on a 10-minute delay.
We're currently playing this heads up.
80-80.
80-80.
It's unfortunate when you're in a spot. You've been playing poker all day, you don't get a restroom break, and you certainly don't get one on the final table of the live stream. Jerry R. Jack deuce in a kind of in a weird spot. Oh, he's just going to open rip it over Nelda, take it on down immediately. Yeah, you can almost never fold in this spot because you just give Nelda free blinds whenever someone is away from the table. Now the king nine on the button, certainly good enough for an open, I'd say. In fact, I was about to say I would be surprised if she did not ship it here, being as short as she is. And Jerry once again waking up 8-3, just not holding up, man. Nelda chipping up just a little bit.
I did, I folded.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a very good player. Stick to what I'm good at.
Tournament director, Mr. Travis, saying, had to fold for you, buddy. Not the best sub for a tournament player. We're seeing Jerry R saying, let's get her over with here in the small blind, attacking Nelda's short stack. 9-5 offsuits. Love to see all this aggression on the final table. Jerry R. Jack 3 of clubs. 3-way action, certainly good enough for a raise. Just about any 2 suited cards with a Broadway would be good enough. And Nelda, ace 9 all in. Everyone's got a little piece of it. Queen 10 offsuits as the big stack. And Jerry R. gonna make the call here. We are actually in a race, relatively close here. Nelda in for her tournament life with ace 9. Jerry R. a bit of a dog in this fight, though still got plenty of outs. Very, very live. And there is a club on the flop. He's drawing to a jack or 3 per the moments. Picks up everything on the turn and breaks it all somehow. Ace 9 gonna hold up. What a sweat on that turn card. And Miss Nelda staying alive for one more.
Queen. thought you were throwing death against Hillary.
Nailed a jack 8 on the button. I think this is certainly good enough for an all-in this spot. Johnny M, I'm really surprised we didn't see a call with the ace-6 there, or Jerry with the suited jack. He got it all in. Jack 3. Jack 5 certainly better. Though he does let it go. Not going to double up Miss Nelda this time. Johnny M, 2 kings, black kings here on the button. Let's get this one in, ladies and gents. 8-6 off, no good for Jerry, but Nelda's got ace queen, and we're seeing the money go in the middle. All in, and a snap call from Johnny. Ace queen v pocket kings. Does Nelda? It really sucks. Johnny M's got the king of clubs in his hand as well, blocking a lot of her straight and flush equity. She's drawing pretty much to exactly an ace in this spot. Queen on the board now picks up an additional 2 outs for her card. Jack could see a king as well, and no, the 9 on the end is going to bust out Miss Nelda. Kings holding up versus ace-queen. Nelda eliminated in 3rd place. Man, she's made it to the final table like 5 times and just can't seem to close the deal. Though certainly a great run, taking down the $9,000. 3rd place. I can't say that is a bad result for a day of poker. And with this elimination, I do believe they are discussing a chop. Jerry with the larger stack going to take home $10,200, and Johnny just under $9,800. And that is going to do it for us here at TCH Live in Dallas. We got Greg P on the mic once again. Be sure to check out the website for all the promos we got going for the month of August. Be sure to check out Andrew Nemi and Brad Owen in Houston on the 7th and 8th, and in Austin on the 11th and the 12th. And we will see you guys next week. Thank you guys very much.
The bad beat jackpot is growing day after day. Do you feel like you're never going to win? What if I told you that everyone will be a winner? No matter what club you're playing in, if you're checked in and playing at a Texas Card House table, when the bad beat hits, you win $100 with our newest and easiest bad beat ever. Each and every day, the bad beat qualifying hand gets easier and easier to beat until it's won. But as the qualifier decreases, the pot increases right along with it. Additionally, with our new club share bonus, everybody wins. Just be playing at any TCH when the bad beat hits, and you'll win $100 just for being at a table. Yes, you Bob in Austin. You too, Sarah in Houston. Tim in RGV. And Dante, you and Big D in Dallas. You take home $100 too. It doesn't get any easier than that. Join the club that started it all, Texas Card House.